So you're buying a shipping container, but buying one without properly knowing what you are getting yourself into can turn out to be a bad investment. It's like buying a car to ride in without checking the engine, comfort, durability, and much more. Over the past 3 years, me and my team have sold countless shipping containers in the United States. We have seen very satisfied people and people who bought a container just to realize that it's not the best fit for the project they're planned on using it for. That doesn't necessarily mean that the containers are in bad shape or a bad investment for storage, but it simply means limited width, placement limitations due to space, how hot they get during summer times, container rust developing and container tilting. Moving the container later and reselling it is just simply something some people don't want to deal with and would have preferred to pay a little extra for a different solution if they knew exactly what they were getting themselves into. And that is exactly why in this video here, we will cover all the quote-unquote unexpected issues you may face if you choose to buy one. This is Container Insider, and let's get right into it. And yeah, please subscribe and like this video, because our plan is to build the largest shipping container community in the industry, covering industry myths, helping people to choose the right solution, and finding the most affordable storage container deals in the United States. Thank you, and now let's get right into it. So when buying a storage container, what we see is that they are cheap. They don't require your time invested, a hassle-free setup and delivery, and maximum security. All of that is true until you face delivery issues and placement. You may have planned on putting the container at a certain angle, certain spot on your property, only to realize that there's not enough space for the truck driver to successfully drop off the unit right there when you planned to put it. So you end up with a container in a different spot on your property, or with a container that's slightly tilted in a way that you didn't imagine it to be so. Because these are usually delivered with a regular pickup truck or a 40-foot tilt bed trailer. So basically the minimum requirements for delivery are 16 feet height clearance where the container is getting unloaded, 125 feet straight shot clearance from the spot you want the container to be placed, and around 12 feet width basically at all times. Also, if you have something like a 90-degree turn on your property, which most people realistically do, but it just depends on how narrow the main street is. Regardless, it has to be reviewed by the company prior to the delivery, because this can cause a turning issue when the truck driver arrives at your property. Also, if you have something like a tree or a log or anything, basically anything in front of the spot where you want to place it, you may need to do some extra work on removing it and clearing the area. So depending on your situation, if you value your time, this can be something that you may need to invest your time into. It's not a time-free investment because you would need to prepare your ground prior to actually getting one delivered. And I personally had customers call me saying, it's been a year and my container started rusting out and doors are harder to open. And this is definitely something that can happen with shipping containers if you don't prepare your ground properly. But the issue is if the soil is soft, containers can start sinking into the ground over the years. And when they sink, most of the times they sink unevenly, which creates a problem of doors not open properly and rusting out from the bottom due to the absence of airflow beneath the actual container. And you can easily prevent this with a proper blocking system, which I actually covered in one of my videos on this channel. So after you finish watching this video, you can take a look at the full channel and basically get answers to any further questions that you might have. And even though it's an easy setup, it just requires extra work, which obviously some people don't prefer. And that is why you're actually watching this video, to decide whether a storage container is the right solution for you or something like a shed or a steel building. Okay, let's get into the next problem. When people first see a shipping container, they usually think it's huge, I'll have more than enough space. And while that can actually be true, there's one thing many buyers don't realize until the container is sitting on their property. The usable space is actually much more limited than it looks from the outside, because a standard shipping container is only about 7 feet and 8 inches wide. And once you start placing shelves, workbenches, tools, or equipment along the walls, the walkway in the middle gets surprisingly narrow. You'll basically feel like it's a closed off space, and you'll probably need more room for comfort, to be honest. And if you're storing boxes, seasonal items, that's usually not a problem. But if you're planning to build a workshop or constantly move around while working inside of the container, that limited width can become a frustration. over time. So before buying one, really think about how you're actually going to use it, not just what you're going to store inside. Another thing related to the use of containers, besides limited space for movement, is the temperature. You wouldn't believe how hot these can get during summer times, because shipping containers are entirely made out of steel, and that makes them incredibly durable, yes, but it also makes them absorb tremendous amount of heat during summer. So if your container is sitting in direct sunlight, it's completely normal for the inside temperature to become significantly hotter actually than the outside temperature. But the good news is this problem can be solved by adding insulation, proper ventilation, or even a small exhaust fan can basically make a huge difference. And the downside is that these upgrades cost both time and money. So the container may end up being more expensive than you originally expected. But if you're looking for affordable, good quality container deals in the United States, our company is dedicated to finding dealerships which not only offer affordable prices, but good quality containers too. Because there's a difference between cheap and affordable with good quality. So if you're looking for the cheapest possible deal, this is probably not the place for you. But if you're looking for an affordable, good quality boxes that are not rusted or damaged with bad odor, click on the first link into the description section, request an official quote, or call 813-798-6147 and talk to me personally regarding your particular project. Let's get back into the video. And again, the things we've covered, none of these are actually deal breakers. They're simply things that many first-time buyers don't know until after the container has already been delivered. Now let's talk about how easy it actually is to move the container and how easy it is to get your money back or profit by reselling it later when you don't need it anymore. The last thing we'll cover today, and the thing that many people don't think about, is what happens when they no longer need the container. So unlike shed that's built onto your property, a shipping container can usually be moved or sold as well, so you can get your money back or even profit a little. But it doesn't mean it's always quick or easy. Every move requires hiring a truck, scheduling delivery, paying transportation costs again, and depending on the distance, moving the container can cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The good news is that shipping containers generally hold their value much better than many other storage solutions. So if you bought a quality container, kept it in good shape, and demand in your area is strong, you actually may be able to recover a large portion of your investment or even make a profit if prices increase. So while containers offer great resale potential, it's still worth talking about where you'll place it and whether you'll need to move it in the future. After everything said, are shipping containers a bad investment? Absolutely not. They are one of the most secure, durable, and cost-effective solutions available, but like any investment, they are not perfect. So the things that we covered today were delivery access and placement, preparing the ground properly, limited interior width, heat during summer, and future moving and reselling the container. So if none of these are deal breakers for you and your project, then a shipping container can absolutely be an excellent long-term investment. And if you're located anywhere in the United States and you're looking for a shipping container, we'd love to help. Over the past 3 years, me and my team have helped hundreds of customers find the right container for their specific needs. We work with trusted suppliers across the country and focus on offering containers that are both affordable and high quality. There's a big difference between buying the cheapest container you can find and buying one that's actually worth your money. So if you like an official quote to check the prices, click on the first link in the description or call me directly at 813-798-6147 and I'll personally help you choose the right container for your project and answer any questions you may have before you buy. So if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Our goal is to build the largest shipping container community online by sharing honest advice, busting industry myths, and helping people avoid expensive mistakes before they actually buy the container. Thank you very much. This has been Container Insider, and I'll see you in the next video.